My husband and I never wanted kids. That's not to say our daughter was an accident. She was about as planned can be. But when we got married, we had no intention of ever having children. When we were getting ready to get married, our friend of a friend Methodist minister who married us with as little ceremony as possible suggested vows that had a line about the mother of my children, and we asked her to take it out. It was still there when we said our vows that bright May morning on the steps of the town center. My favorite journalism professor pointed out that now that we'd vowed it, we had to do it. Editing error, I claimed. He didn't buy it. But as the years went by, we decided having a kid wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I wanted something of our love to remain after we were gone. He wanted to make me happy. So we had our sweet little girl. She's really quite extraordinary, if I'm allowed to say so. She's 3.5 and can pretty much dress herself, beat an egg without getting it all over the place, count to 14 in Spanish, knows all her colors and shapes, and can recite 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish from memory. She's so full of love and sweetness sometimes I can hardly stand it. She also didn't sleep through the night for 2.5 years, has fits that make the terrible twos look tame, and couldn't share a toy in her own home if her iPad depended on it. Of course, now that she's 3, a lot of people assume we're trying for another one. A lot of my mom friends who had kids around the same time already have another one. We're just not sure we're up for that. So for everyone else wondering if they're 1 and done, or 2 and through, 3's enough for me, 4 and no more, I offer a few wonderful reasons not to have more children. Number 1, pregnancy. I know some women like to be pregnant, and honestly, I didn't mind it that much. I loved feeling like, for the first time in my feminist life, I was entitled to special treatment. I loved wearing my "I'm so crafty, I make people" t-shirt. Thank you. I hated cankles, being tired all the time, back labor, and premature delivery. That one's a big deal breaker for me. Now that I'm on the verge of being an older mother who already delivered a preemie, a second pregnancy would probably end in bed rest, which sounds awesome when it comes to your first. Not so great when you have a toddler who wants nothing more than to play with you all the time. Then there's number 1.5, unexpected twins. In the past year, I've met 2 women who didn't know they were having twins until their 20-week ultrasound. I didn't even know such a thing could happen. It's almost enough to scare Mama away from number 2, sex. It's hard enough to find time for each other with 1 kid. Imagine trying to work around the sleep schedules of 2 or more. Not to mention, post-pregnancy bodies just aren't that sexy. Which brings me to number 3, my body. Or your body. I don't know how your body came through your pregnancy, but mine escaped miraculously unscathed. Yes, I gained some weight that's still there 4 years later, but there's not a whisper of a stretch mark on me anywhere. There is no way I'd have that kind of luck twice. We're all older than we were the first time around and less able to bounce back from the trauma that is making and delivering a human being. I'm just not sure I can handle it again. Number 4, the environment. After all that vanity, it's worth taking a broader view. New people put a huge strain on the planet. A 2009 study from Oregon State University suggested that one of the most profound things someone interested in reducing their environmental impact could do was to have 1 fewer child, noting that an American kid adds some 9,000 metric tons of carbon to their parents' carbon legacy. That's not to mention using somewhere around 4,000 diapers that will take somewhere around 500 years to decompose, or the water used to wash cloth diapers, the increased consumption of throwaway plastic toys, more food waste, and on, which dovetails nicely into number 5, money. Kids are expensive. Recent guesses say a middle-income family will spend around $300,000 to raise a child these days, and that's before college. If you saved all that money that would have gone to child number 2, number 1 could go to any college she wanted. Or you could buy her a house. Or buy yourself a house. Of course, none of these alone are a good or a bad reason to have more kids. It's as personal a decision as having the first kid was. And while lots of parents will tell you it's more fun with more than 1, that you'll love seeing how your kids love each other, and that they have each other for playmates now and will still have each other when you're gone, for me it often comes back to one simple thing. The kid we have is awesome. I love our little family of 3. Why mess with perfection? Or, to take a more cynical view, why tempt fate? Maybe 1 and done is the right thing for us. To quote Schoolhouse Rock, 3 is a magic number.